All right, let's jump right into a huge question that's on everyone's mind in the AI world. How do we actually know if these new autonomous agents are any good? I mean, seriously, the old ways of testing software are completely falling apart, so we desperately need a new playbook for thinking about quality. Let's dive in.
Okay, so here's the core problem, right? How in the world do you test software that thinks for itself? This is nothing like finding a simple bug in your phone app. We are talking about systems that can plan, that can reason, and that can act all on their own. The old rulebook? Yeah, you can just toss that out the window. It's not going to work here.
To really get this, let's use an analogy. Think of your traditional software like a delivery truck. It's got a fixed route, a set schedule, you basically just check if it got from point A to point B. Simple. But an AI agent? That's a whole different beast. It's more like a Formula One race car. It's making dynamic, split-second judgments on a chaotic track. You can't just see if it crossed the finish line. You need continuous telemetry. You need to monitor its every move to truly understand its performance.
So let's get into our first section, the unpredictable AI agent. We're going to dig into exactly why our old, comfortable rules for software quality just don't apply anymore. You see, failures in AI agents are, well, they're just plain weird. They're not your normal everyday bugs. An agent might have what's called a factual hallucination, where it states something completely false but with the confidence of a seasoned expert. Or even stranger, it could develop emergent unintended behaviors, finding some bizarre loophole you never even dreamed of to get to its goal. You just can't write a simple test case to catch these kinds of things. And this all points to a massive paradigm shift. For decades, software quality has been about verification. We'd ask, did we build the product right? According to the specifications. But with AI, that's not enough. We have to ask a much deeper, much harder question of validation. Did we build the right product? Is it something that actually delivers value and can be trusted out there in the messy, unpredictable real world? So if the old rules are out the window, how do we even begin to define what a good AI agent looks like? Well, that brings us to our next section, where we're going to look at a brand new scorecard for this new kind of technology. The answer really is a framework built on 4 totally interconnected pillars. If you want a high-quality agent, you have to nail all 4 of these: effectiveness, efficiency, robustness, and, of course, safety and alignment. Let's break down what each of these really means.
Okay, first up, effectiveness. This is the bottom line, right? Did the agent actually do what the user wanted it to do? And it's more than just ticking a box. It's about deeply understanding the user's real intent, even if their instructions weren't perfectly clear. Next up is efficiency. I mean, think about it. An agent that manages to book you a flight but takes 25 steps and 5 failed attempts to do it, yeah, it was effective, but it sure wasn't efficient. This pillar is all about the resources: time, money, complexity. A wasteful agent is a low-quality agent, plain and simple. Then we've got robustness, because, let's be honest, the real world is messy. Websites change their layout, APIs time out, and users give vague, confusing prompts. A robust agent can handle all that chaos. It doesn't just give up and crash. It knows how to retry or ask for clarification, and how to fail gracefully when it has to. It has resilience. And finally, we have what is arguably the most important pillar: safety and alignment. This one is absolutely non-negotiable. Does the agent stay within its guardrails? Does it refuse to perform harmful or unethical tasks? This is what ensures that the agent is a trustworthy proxy for you and your entire organization. Okay, so we've got our 4 pillars. Great. But how in the world do we measure them? Well, it requires another huge shift in how we think. We have to start judging the entire process, not just looking at the final answer. This brings us to a core principle, a real mantra for this new world. The trajectory is the truth. The final output is just the last page of the book. To really truly understand an agent's quality, you have to see its entire decision-making journey, from the very first thought to the final action. This means we have to move from what we'd call a black box view to a glass box view. The black box just asks a simple question: did it work? Yes or no? But the glass box, that lets us see the entire process. It lets us ask the much more important question: why did it succeed, or why did it fail? It's all about judging every single step in the agent's thought process.
So how do we get this glass box? How do we actually see inside the agent's mind? This next section is all about the tools we need to peer inside and judge that thought process.
To do this, we need to move beyond simple monitoring and embrace what's called true observability. Here's an analogy. Monitoring is like checking on a line cook. You're just making sure they're following the recipe. Is the system running? But an AI agent is like a gourmet chef. It's not following a recipe, it's creating something new. You don't just want to know if the stove is on. You want to know how they're thinking. Is the agent thinking effectively? That's observability. And this idea of observability is really built on three foundational pillars. First, you have logs. Think of these as the agent's personal diary, recording every single thought and action. Then you have traces, which are like the narrative thread that connects all those diary entries into a single, coherent story. And finally, you have metrics, which give you that high-level health report on how everything is performing overall.
So look, at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. You cannot trust what you don't understand, and you can't understand it if you can't see the process. These three pillars, logs, traces, and metrics, are what give us the power to see.
Okay, this brings us to our final section, where we're going to pull all of these concepts together into one single, powerful system for building trust and constantly improving our AI agents. We call it the Quality Flywheel.
The flywheel is this awesome, self-reinforcing cycle. Here's how it works. Step 1, you define quality using those 4 pillars we talked about. Step 2, you instrument for visibility by building in observability from day 1. Step 3, you evaluate the process using both automation and human experts to judge the agent's trajectory. And step 4, the crucial part, you architect the feedback loop, turning every single failure into a lesson that becomes a new test.
And that's the real power of the flywheel. It's a system that is literally designed to learn from its own mistakes. Every failure isn't a problem, it's an opportunity. It makes the entire system smarter, driving this relentless, continuous cycle of improvement.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. As these AI agents get more and more powerful and autonomous, is the real challenge not just about building more capability, but about building trust? It's something we're all going to have to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.